Good morning, Facebook friends. Helen Archontou here, CEO of the YWCA of Northern New Jersey, TGIF. So nice to spend some time with you today on a Friday, and wherever you are in the world, it's a beautiful sunny. It's a beautiful sunny day, and we're happy to share some good news with you. It's been a funny time during this almost year now that we're in of living in COVID. You would think that it was a time where things stopped, and so much has stopped. But for the YWCA of Northern New Jersey, growing our programs and supporting the community has not stopped. If anything, it's just changed and in some ways really accelerated certain opportunities. And so with that, we're excited to share with you. We're excited working from home life. That's the way it is. So one of the things we're excited to do is share with you a new opportunity that's coming to our organization that was really born out of this time and a need. So thrilled to have the time with you to share this great evolution of one of our programs. So with that, we know that this has been a time that because of our self-isolation and limited engagement, with others, that, it has created some challenges, especially for folks that, are, limited in terms of opportunities to be connected to people. And these challenges really have made us sometimes think a little bit about our self-worth individually, and made it, created some challenges. But we have a way to help support people through this time. And so with that, sorry, folks. This is, again, work from home life. But with that, I'm so proud to partner with, and we're so proud as an organization to bring back a guest that we've had on the show recently, and have her back with us again, is Sarah Hiller-Bersson from the Center for Purposeful Aging. Oh my goodness, life on Friday. Center for Purposeful Aging. And she will lead us in a new virtual support group called Healthy Mind, Healthy Life that will offer seniors a safe and engaging space to express their feelings and share their life experiences. And sorry for all the chaos, but now we're going to be totally focused on Sarah and where we're going. Let me tell you about Sarah. For those of you who don't know her yet, you're going to be really excited to meet her. She's a licensed psychotherapist here in New Jersey with 17 years of experience working with the over 60 population. She's developed a wide range of psychological services, interventions, and strategies that can support seniors on their journeys towards adjusting to elderhood, healing, and self-discovery. And she recently did a program for us with our Friendship Friday, which is part of our senior services. Once a month on a Friday, we bring a thought leader in to run a program, for our community. And it was so well received that we started engaging in discussions with Sarah about how we could broaden the opportunity for the seniors. And we're so grateful that, we were able to work together and pull together some funding from the Bergen County Department of Senior Services to be able to support launching, this new initiative, which will kick off on April 5th from 9:45 to 10:45 via Zoom, and it will run in 12-week increments. So with that, welcome back, Sarah. So happy to have you back on YWTV.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
So let's start the conversation in terms of talking a little bit about, where, bring us back a little bit to where we started a few months ago when we met and we brought you on, and right before our Friendship Friday, for those that this is new for. Can we talk a little bit about what living a purposeful life means for individuals as they're entering into elderhood?
Sure. Living a purposeful life really has a lot to do with identifying what you as a person want out of life. It has to do with recognizing how your actions really dictate the fullness of your life. It's it's almost a lens that you look at your life with. And we all probably have a lot of purpose in our lives, but sometimes we'll focus on what's not going well. But when you focus on what's going well, when you focus on things that are meaningful, that give you purpose, it allows for a life of fulfillment, and it allows for overall quality of life and happiness.
Well, we can appreciate the importance of that. And then kind of taking that concept and then looking at this time of COVID, where there has been so much social isolation and people living, kind of in their little boxes of their homes, especially for seniors at this time. Can we talk about why it's so important to be having this conversation and focused on it right now?
So when Corona hit, people weren't prepared, and people all of a sudden had to isolate. And they really, a lot of their lives, a lot of their, the activities of their lives were very limited. And it really cut off so much of what made them feel fulfilled, what gave them purpose, whether it's meeting your girlfriends and being there for them once a week for mahjong, or babysitting your grandchildren and helping out your daughter and son, or volunteering. All of these things were really limited. And because of that, we all kind of reverted back to our homes. But then we had that problem of isolation. And I always say to people, although you have to live alone, you don't have to be lonely. And what I really envisioned and what I really thought was, it's so important for people to still stay connected. And that's really one of the main factors of living a quality life, and one of the building blocks of having purpose is staying connected and engaged. And so my idea was to really get people connected in any way possible. And what was the most appropriate way during Corona is through Zooms and through kind of the computer. And so that's what we came up with.
Well, and I love what you just said about, we may have to be, more alone during this time, but we don't have to be lonely. And I was very committed to, after meeting you and talking with you the first time as we were bringing together our Friendship Friday event, I was really struck by the power, of what you were doing and the need for it, and wanted to make sure that we as an organization were able to amplify the work and the intent, because we see it with the community that we work with. The YWCA of Northern New Jersey, again, thanks to a partnership with the Bergen County Senior Services, have really met and, been really supporting and working with our, Asian community in Bergen County and, surrounding areas through our wellness and fitness initiatives that we've been rolling out. And the feedback that we've gotten from those initiatives and those conversations really is that not only have they been so important for their bodies, to have that opportunity to move, but that it really did help with their minds too. And it really did help with them having something to do every day, something to look forward to every day, an interaction, being able to see each other. And so I'm very aware of it too. I have my 90-year-old mother has been taking those classes. And when I go to set her up on them, I can hear the conversation that happens before and happens after the class, and how everyone really is feeling very connected to each other, through, even though it's a Zoom experience and you would think, potentially otherwise. So I appreciated and love the opportunity of sharing, and expanding this opportunity. So we were so grateful that you were open to working with us on this, and that the county was interested in supporting this effort, because we know that it really will help and take, the work that we're doing to the next level, to be able to be supportive and impactful.
I was also excited to find a community that really was able to that I could connect with in this way. I do work with seniors. That's kind of where my comfort level is. And when I spoke to Marie and Mary, and we spoke about this kind of programming, I said, the only problem is, with the seniors, it's so hard to get them online and to interact online. And Mary said, no, our seniors aren't like that. They are vibrant and engaged and energetic. And I thought this would be so much fun to run a program on like the YWCA, which has like a free platform, and encourage people to share, to connect, to really share their strategies and have these kind of meaningful connections. And that's what gives us purpose. These connections is what really gives everyone, that's the building block for fulfillment, for a life of meaning, connection.
Well, and I have to say, I mean, we are very lucky because we do have a strong community that has come together and really embraced what we're doing. I mean, I'm sure that there are others, unfortunately, that don't have access, because of either different technological challenges or, actual, challenges to, resources to be able to do it or abilities. But that's something that we hope, as our world has evolved, that we can continue to support others gaining that ability. But until then, this group that we're working with, we know that it really is helping, evolve their lives in a very different way. And we love to support that. So let's talk a little bit and give a little preview to those watching about some of the topics and themes that you'll be exploring in this 12-week format with the group.
Well, first, to give you a little bit of a background, I worked for over a decade in like more institutional settings that had seniors. And one of the themes that kept on coming up as I worked with people is the idea of finding meaning in life, finding purpose in life, which is much more challenging when you're kind of living within a facility and people are kind of taking care of you. So we worked on this and I became very fluent in it. And then I decided, what, we're going to have a group. And we had a weekly group and we met and we really ironed out a lot of the definitions of purpose. And they were really group appropriate. And I was imagine once we have our group at the YWCA, there will be different new definitions on finding purpose. And although I have a framework in my head, what really the YWCA is offering what I'd like to offer through the YWCA with this program is really to allow other people to come up with their own definitions. During the group, we had a whole, in this facility, we had this group, and we really did a lot of work and we came up with different ways to define purpose. We came up with all different kinds of programs that really represented their purpose, the group members' purpose. For example, they came up with Thank You Thursdays, where there was a big movement to always say thank you, but on Thursdays, really expand on the thank you and be like, it was so nice of you to X, Y, and to fold my laundry exactly the way I wanted it. Thank you. And really offered a way to impact the people in our surroundings. And by doing that, we really did improve the quality of care, the attitude of care that was provided. Another thing we did in the group in these facilities was we developed a welcome packet. I didn't do it. The group did it, and the group members did it. And they developed this welcome packet. New people come in, to your neighborhood, to your facility. And how nice is it to have a welcome packet for them? So the whole idea really is to impact your environment. And based on the impact and the connections that you make, it's a way to have purpose in your life. It's a way to identify purpose. It's a way to identify meaning in your life.
And I love that just those little acts of like Thank You Thursday, which is, such a great concept, but those little acts are not that little. I mean, they really can shift a mindset and shift, your whole mood, can shift your whole way of thinking. They are, definitely impactful. So
impact other people, impacting other people too.
Well, and I think that that's the beauty of this, right? Is that it has a ripple effect. That it goes, it not only changes us, when we can, make these shifts in our thinking and our mindset, but it does ripple to others. And what a gift that is. What a gift that is. So one of the things I was really struck with too when we spoke the first time about your work and especially even in institutions, because especially right now with so much we're hearing about COVID and the various facilities that are out there, right? That everything, people don't necessarily feel like that there's a lot of hope, attached, to different experiences and places. And I love how the work that you're doing really does manifest and really does manifest and really does help breed hope for everybody. Yeah,
I think especially during this, during Corona, we need to do these kind of things to give people the opportunity for connection and for hope. And I also wanted, this whole idea, or introducing this whole construct, that I want people to be aware of, that being aware of the value systems that we have for ourselves, and the value systems that society places upon us, and the preconceived ideas or expectations that society has for the second half of an adult life. And my idea with the YWCA is really just to kind of be examine that and be very much aware of how that's influencing you as an individual, and then to break through that mold and kind of say, is that really working for me? Can I do more? Is society limiting me? And oftentimes people find that society is limiting, or like external influences are limiting you. And it really holds you back from living your strengths, from living your passions, pursuing things that'll make you so happy. We were working with a group. There was a group that we were working with. Someone was telling me, and I came after this happened, but we were working in a senior center, and this woman was saying that she started a knitting group, a knitting club within the senior center, and it was popular, and they really bonded. They were very close, the people in the knitting club. And then in the summer, they decided, we're going to invite high schoolers to the knitting club. And it really was an interesting dynamic that they said that ended up happening. They taught them at least the teens how to knit, but really there was a deep connection that was developed. And what ended up happening since then was the knitting club went online, and it's now the person that coordinated is running a how to knit club. And it's really something very special. And supposedly also she's very fluent on how to work Zoom, because her grandchildren taught her how to do it. And it really kind of empowered her to do something more. And you see how there is so much potential in such simple things, but you have to understand that you can't be held back by what society is telling you. You have to find it, and you break out of it.
For sure. And, we know that intergenerational component is very powerful. So that's a beautiful illustration of that. And, those are all opportunities, which I love about, what we're doing here is expanding our wellness initiatives. And we have some more programs in the works as well. And I see one of our viewers, Carol Raff, who I appreciate, she's sharing that, she teaches yoga and runs support groups with seniors, and that she'd like to learn to, figure out a way to help out. So we'll be in touch with you, Carol. I appreciate that offer. And for those of you watching and you're learning about this new program that we're launching, and just to reiterate, we're launching it on April 5th from 9:45 to 10:45 a.m. via Zoom for 12 weeks. We will be offering a Healthy Mind, Healthy Life group for seniors to have a safe and engaging space to express their feelings and share their life experiences currently. And we have Sarah Hiller-Bersson, who's very skilled, and will be working with the group to help support and facilitate those discussions. But we always love having more volunteers to support our efforts. And for those of you watching that are interested in the group, or have someone in your life that you think would really benefit from it, we have the link here in the comments, and we do encourage you to sign up, register, and join us. As we're kicking off on April 5th.
Helen, I was looking around at some of the different programming, and I'm so excited how the YWCA is offering this interactive programming where people can be heard and people can participate. And it really does enable people to kind of get their feelings, their thoughts out there. And by doing that, people are going to acknowledge that they're feeling similar things, and their feelings are going to be validated. And by being heard and having their feelings normalized, you really create an opportunity to acknowledge situations and emotions, and say that it's okay to feel this way and to resolve these feelings, but then also to accept it and improve on the situation and move forward. Right before Corona, I had run a similar kind of program in person, and it was about our third or fourth program, so people were familiar with each other. And what someone shared, that they loved using the computer, but they had so many questions, and whenever they asked their son was very dismissive and didn't help them out, which is so sad. But really, what other people just immediately chimed in with support, with acknowledgement, and saying, I'm experiencing the same thing. And what ended up happening was not only were their feelings normalized, but then there was problem solving. And they said, well, why don't you take this class I know of, in this program that they have a class specifically geared for seniors. And then someone else said, I could give you many YouTube videos to help you, through all of these so that you become very fluent in computers. And then someone else was joking and saying, by the end of the discussion, people were saying, you know what, we should all become experts as seniors in computers, and we'll start self-help, seniors helping seniors in computers. It was just adorable. It was so much fun. It was funny. We were all laughing, but it really did empower people. It empowers people to say, like, to show them, like, we are not limited. We will not be treated in a certain way. And just because we don't know, or just because we're of a certain generation, doesn't mean that we should be sidelined. We can empower ourselves. We should empower ourselves. And that's what I hope to do.
Yes. Well, that's a wonderful goal that you have. And obviously we share at the YWCA for this effort. So we are very excited to be able to launch it. So are there, when we think about, those who, might be considering joining, who would you recommend think about signing up, just so that, if anyone's watching and thinking, oh, I might know somebody, who would you recommend considering signing up for something like this?
Well, first I want to say that YWCA is so wonderful that they're sponsoring this program, and it's a free program. So I think to myself, at least try it, sign up and try it. Anyone that's really interested in growth, anyone who's interested in preparing for Corona to be over and getting out there and ready to kind of look up and say and move forward. And I'm excited for the whole program. It's going to be fun. It's going to be warm, and we're going to laugh a lot, and we're going to connect. And that's what's really important.
Well, that's wonderful. And again, for those of you watching, we encourage you to share this conversation and make sure that the people in your life that may benefit from it know about this group. Again, there's no charge, thanks to the funding that's coming from the County of Bergen to be able to support this initiative. And we've got this, wonderful, experienced, talented facilitator, who will be joining us, who really specializes in this area. And again, it's a 12-week session starting April 5th from 9:45 to 10:45 a.m. And we'll be using Zoom to be able to share it. We have a question about, how do you, for those of us, and, I happen to be one, and I know, Lori, who's asking the question, is another. For those of us that are caregivers, to our parents and supporting that time, how are we able to, encourage a parent or someone in our life that would benefit from this, but is possibly reluctant or resistant to joining a group?
Whenever these kind of ideas come up, or these kind of situations come up where someone's resistant, there is some negotiation going on, and it's really, I think the most effective thing you can offer someone is say, try it once, maybe commit to it twice. And if you don't like it, I'll understand, and I won't insist that you continue. But try it. See if it's for you. And the truth is, if someone is not liking it, then then it's okay. Maybe they shouldn't be on it. If it's not really resonating with them, then okay. But if people try it, if it's something that really is does speak to them, how beneficial would that be?
Well, that's great. So there you have it, folks. Just, offer them encouragement to give it a shot at least once or twice, to see how it feels and see if it's something that they want to continue with. And, the way that Sarah will be presenting the information, engaging the group, I know that she'll be able to help people feel connected. Question for you, will people be able to, do they join for the cycle? Will they be able to come in once the cycle starts, or are you having them, a cohort start together and finish the 12 weeks and then start another cohort?
Oh, I have to, that's a good question. We have to get back to you. I'm not sure how Mary wants to run the program. I do want to stress that it is very interactive. So we want to hear what you have to say. I only have so much I could offer. And then it's up to the group members to really develop these ideas further. As I said before, what some groups come up with is different than what other groups come up with. And it's really all about what you have in mind. In regards to having some people come in and drop out, we have to speak to Mary about that. But the whole idea is really to be familiar with people and feel comfortable with people. So we encourage people to kind of connect, and hopefully they won't drop out, or that they'll have those connections and they'll work together and collaborate together. And so hopefully it'll be consistent. The attendance will be consistent.
That's great. That's great. Well, for those of you watching again, we do encourage you to share this information. It's a great opportunity. And, again, I'm so grateful to Sarah for spending time with us over these last few months after we met her to imagine, and help us dream how we could make this come to fruition. Again, and it's no small feat ever, but it's definitely a dream team between our YW team and Sarah and the county for coming together, to help us fund it. But it's such a wonderful opportunity to be able to lift and support our aging community during this time. And we do encourage you to get the word out to people in your life. And we have the links, just sharing again, we have the links here in our comments so that you can register for the group if you're interested, or share the information with somebody. And one more time, it's going to be on April 5th. We're starting the group from 9:45 to 10:45 on Zoom, and it will be a 12-week session. And then they will start and stop and start and stop, again from there. So with that, we wish everyone a fabulous weekend. I know that's, seeing a little bit more sun and some warmer temps sometimes, especially now when we are, still, pretty confined, does help feel renewal and hope is ahead for sure. So, we encourage everyone to stay safe, but, try to get out and, get a little bit of, energy, hopefully, and feel some empowerment from the beauty, that's around us and the outside by doing that safely. And we do hope, and I know many of you have joined us, but on Monday morning at 10 a.m., we have another in our series for our Women's Leadership Conference, another conversation that we will be hosting with Janine LaRue, who, I actually had the opportunity to talk with her yesterday preparing for our conversation. And, she is someone who has lived a long and interesting and evolved heavily over the course of her life, and, has really embraced being in an aging, area of her life and all that means. And I think she would be a tremendous inspiration for anybody to spend that hour with us on Monday at 10 a.m. and to hear a little bit about her life, its evolution, and how hope and resiliency have really been key in terms of keeping her in a very positive space despite what's come in front of her in her life. And there's a lot to learn and be inspired from our conversations. So Sarah, we hope you can join us. For our viewers, we hope you can join us. She really is amazing, as our last two speakers have been. So many of us were lifted from hearing Dr. Verk yesterday, and the week prior, Dr. Chris Purnell. And we will finish it all off on the 24th in terms of our conversations by speaking with fashion designer Rachel Antonoff and talking about, her evolution and journey in her life. So we have the links here so you can register for those conversations, and we do encourage you to do that. And for those of you that are interested in journaling, those of all ages, please join us. We have a new program called Your Story that kicked off last week, and it's a drop-in. It's led by the very talented Rachel Brenner, and each week we're focusing on a different theme to help our participants find their authentic voices through writing and through journaling. And we've got such tremendous feedback from the first session, and I know that there's something to learn, for you too, if you can join us. So we have the link for that as well. So we wish everyone a great weekend. Sarah, thank you again so much.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to start this program with the YWCA.
We are too. And we're going to have you back on and talk about how it's going. So I look forward to hearing and watching the evolution and talking to those that are taking it. Everyone have a great day. Be well. Bye-bye.